Okay, so basically we'll start with the ratio and proportions basic class today. And let's go. So what is ratio? Okay, so whenever there are two or more quantities, two or more quantities, and we are comparing them. Okay, and the comparison is expressed in form of ratios. Okay, so let us assume two people. Okay, P and Q. So if we consider P to be 5 times faster than Q, we can say that the 5 times of the speed of Q will give us the speed of P. Now, if I say that Q is running at 10 kilometers per hour, we can say that P is 5 times as fast, that is 10. So he's running at 50 kilometers per hour. Now, the question comes, what is the ratio of speed of P is to speed of Q? So in this case, what we can say, the speed of P is 50 and that of speed of Q is 10. We can further simplify it and we'll get 5:1 as the speed ratio of P and Q. So this is how we basically deal with the ratio. Now, what is proportion? What is it? Like we hear about it a lot, like proportion of this, proportion of that. Okay, so basically proportion is nothing but when we compare two ratios. Initially, we were comparing two or more values to get a ratio, and now we're comparing two or more ratios so that we can find how are they proportionate. Now, so if I say there are two ratios, suppose A is to B and another ratio C is to D. Okay, so now to say that they are proportionate, we can say that A is to B is proportionate, C is to D. Now this 4 square denote as 2. As 2. Now this is the basic difference between ratio and proportion. Go through this because sometimes a bit of theoretical questions can be expected. Like we had this year, IIFT Banking had a couple of theory questions also. Now we go to properties of ratios. So when we talk about properties of ratios, so we'll take the first one, first property. Okay. Now if I say that A is to B is proportionate C is to D. That is A by B is equal to C by D. Now if I cross multiply this, basically cross multiply this with this and give it C, what I get AD equal C. That is basically just cross multiplying the cross multiply that we do. So this is a way we can also say that this value are proportional ratios. Okay. Now this comes in handy when we're solving a lot of sums. Okay. Let's see how it comes handy. Okay. So now let us consider two ratios. Okay. Two ratios B, A is to B and C is to D. See, we don't know whether these are equal or which is greater or which is lesser or anything. So now if they're like saying to find out which one of this is greater or lesser or anything. Okay, so what we will do, we will just simply use the earlier funda we learned here. Okay, so what we do is by B and C by D. We simply multiply A with D, that is AD, and we'll have BC. Now what we'll do is we'll compare these values, this value with this value. So if AD is greater than BC, so then we will say that A is to B is greater than C is to D. Similarly, if AD and BC, the relationship being if AD is smaller than BC, we'll say A is to B smaller than C is to D. And in case if AD equal to BC, we'll say A is to B is equal to C is to D. We'll look at a few sums of this sort and we'll clear our doubts if any. Okay. Further. So now we'll deal with a componendo, dividendo, and the combination of componendo and dividendo. So what is componendo? For this, if we take two ratios, say A is to B and which is equal to C is to D, then write it as A by B is equal to C by D. Now componendo, what we do is we add the denominator to the numerator in both the cases. So A plus B by B is also equal to C plus D by D. So this is known as componendo. Similarly, if we see dividendo, okay, dividendo A is to B, F equals C is to D. In this case, what we'll do is we'll just do the opposite. We'll subtract the denominator from numerator. A minus B is equal to C minus D by D. So this is dividendo. This is by now you must have understood what are we gonna do next in component and dividendo. That is, we are gonna combine component and dividendo together. If I do that, I have A plus B by B divided by A minus by B, which must be equal to C plus D by D divided by A minus D by D. Now solving this B gets cancelled. We have A plus B by A minus B, which is equal to C plus D by C minus D. That's good. A is to B, if we say 7, C is to D, if we say 10 is to 11. Correct. Now what I'll do is A into D and here B into C. So if I do it, I get 17 into 11 and 18 into 10. Now if we do 17 into 11, we get 187 and I get 180 out. This is fairly clear that my 187 is greater than 180. Correct? From here, I can definitely conclude that my ratio 17 by 18 is greater than 10 by 2. Now, similar to the earlier question, I have to find the mean proportion. Earlier question, they were saying about the third proportional. Now they're talking about the mean proportional. So which one is the mean proportional? If I have A, B, and C, I can say that CB is my mean. As we know that A and C are called extremes. So now let's see what are the values that I have. Okay, among A, B, and C, I have 7. I don't have this. I have 63. So if I say that A by B is equal to B by C, this implies that B square equal to C. Now I don't have B, so let's write here B square is equal to the value of A is 7 into C is 63. Now instead of multiplying the whole thing, I can write 7 as 63 as 7 into 9. So now I can write B as 7 into B square as 7 into 3 into 3. So now B will become 7 into 3. 7 from here and 3 from here. B comes out to be 20. Okay. Now comes combined ratio. Okay. Now this is where things start to become interesting, and these are the things that come in the questions a lot. Okay. We'll understand combined ratio with the help of an example. Okay. Let's go. Just given A is to B and B is to C, and our target is to find A is to B is to C. I'll write first what is given is to B and is to C. Now I see that B in both the cases is a common term. So I have B out here, I have B out here. So if I can somehow make the values of B equal, then I can compare the ratio. So to do that, what I can do is A is to B and B is to C. If I write like this, so my target is to make these two same. If I write the values, 5 is to 3 and 6 is to 7. Now, to make these two values equal, that is 3 and 6. Similarly, like the way we find LCM, let's multiply 6 with the 8. So, as we have multiplied 6 with this, we should multiply 6 with 5 also, because if we follow the concept LCM, so I write this here. And similarly, using an LCM concept, we must multiply the 7 with this 3 also, correct? We write it as 21. Okay. So I have 30 is to 18 is to 21. But looking at this, I think it will further be reduced. Yes, it can be reduced by 3. If I divide it by 3, I get 10 is to 6 is to 7, which is my final answer. So A is to B is to C is 10 is to 6 is to 7. Okay. So this is the long cut. Once we start with the questions, I'll give you a beautiful shortcut and you'll be like, sir, arey, ye to mast tha. Okay, let's go. Similarly, if we see there are 4 terms here, A, B, C, D. No problem. Simple. A is to B, I'll do B is to C, and C is to D. Part. See, if I try to do all this in one shot, it is such cumbersome. So I'll split it into 2 parts. Okay, first I'll do A is to B is to C, and then I'll do C is to D. Okay, let's go. We'll do A is to B is to C first. To A is to B is to C, we need 5 is to 3 and 2 is to 3. Correct. 5 is to 3 and 2 is to 3. So I get 6, 10, and 9. Okay, so A is to B is to C. Now I will use this A is to B is to C with C is to D, this value to get A is to B is to C is to D. Okay, let's see. 10 is to 6 is to 9. A, B, C. Correct. Now we have C is to D as 7 is to 3. Simply multiply it. That is 70. 7, 6 of 42. 7 9 just 63 and 9 3 is 27. My final answer, that is A is to B is to C is to D, it is 70 is to 42 is to 63 is to 27. Okay. Now we have talked about these combined ratios. Now we'll solve an example and I'll give you a beautiful shortcut as I have promised earlier. Okay. It says A is to B is 2 is to 3 times B is to C is 2 is to 7, and we have to find A is to B is to C. So now we know the traditional method of finding A is to B is to C. We write A is to B, B is to C, and then an equation. So let me first do it by traditional method. 2 is to 3 and 5 is to 7. Correct. I get 15 out here, 10 out here, and 21 out. Okay. Give me 10, 15 is to 15 is to 21. Now, I don't want to do this. I think this is time taking. I'll do a shortcut. I know all these three terms. The first term is A, the second terms are B, and the third terms are C. I'll just simply look into the first statement, that is A is to B is 2 is to 3. So I'll first spot list all those who satisfy my A is to B is 2. Okay, I'll look into 5 is to 7 is to 13. Is A is to B, that is 5 is to 7, satisfying 2 is to 3? No, this is not satisfying. So this is definition of my answer. Is 10 is to 15, 10 is to 15 satisfying 2 is to 3? Well, if I do it by 5, I get 2, and they are divided by 3 by 5, I get 3. Yes. So this satisfies. Similarly, 10 is to 5 in this case also will satisfy. Okay. But is 3 is to 15 satisfying? 2 is to 3? No. So this is also out of question. So out of 4 options within 15 seconds, I have removed 2. So now I am in a nice confident state. Yes, I can proceed further. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll check B is to C. B is to C must give me a ratio 5 is to 7. So is 15 is to 21 and 15 is to 7. Which one? The one which will give me the ratio of 5 is to 7 is my answer. So if let's see, 15 is to 17. Is 15 is to 17 giving me 5 is to 7 in any ways? So I can say that B is not my answer. So is C my answer? Let's see. It's to 21. I divided by 3. So 3, 5, 7, 3, 7. That will give me yes. So it is giving me 5 is to 7. So I can without a doubt say that number C, that is 10 is to 15 is to 21 is my correct answer, and which also matches with my traditional method. Correct. Shortcut is nice, no? Okay, let's try it if something was there with 4, A, B, C, and D. Let's go. Let's say A is to B, B is to C, C is to D, and now we have to find A is to B is to C is to D. Let's say, sir, this is so lengthy. What to do? Okay, no problem. But I'll start with the initial. A is to B, that is 2 is to 3. This 15 is to 24 giving me 2 is to 3 in any ways. No, but initially I'll just not think of this part. I'll forget that this exists. I'll just take A and B. So 2 is to 3, this is not giving me 2 is to 3. 16 is to 24. You have to divide it by 8. 8 2 is 16 and 8 3 is 24. Yes, this is giving. This is not in 2 is to 3 ratio. This is definitely not in 2 is to 3 ratio. And similarly, this is a wow. In easy ways, I got the answer within 20 seconds. I can say as A, C, D, and E are not satisfying. So hence B, that is 16 is to 24 is to 30 is to 35 is my answer. Now what I want is you all to solve this sum by the traditional method. Okay, and let me know if you face any difficulties. Okay, so let's move further. These questions look scary, but are actually a cakewalk to solve. These just are there to make you feel scared. Okay, let's see what they're saying. They're saying the x is to y is 1 is to 3. I can say x is to y is 1 is to 3. Till now, as we have learned, we have understood one thing, that this value 1 and this value 3 are not true values, but these are values which are in multiples of 1 is to 3. Okay, so this multiplied by something, say a, and this also multiplied by a. So 1 is to 3 is a ratio, not the true value. Okay, but we don't know it. Okay, what I'll do, I'll trick the person who set the question only. So I'll simply take the, okay, chalo, 1 is to 3 is the ratio. So if 1 is to 3 is the ratio, that means definitely anything that is in this ratio will fulfill. So why not multiply it by 1 only? If I multiply 1 by 1 and 3 by 1, I get 1 is 1 and 3 as x and y. So now I simply substitute this value in this. So what I get is 7 into the value of x, that is 1, plus 3 into value of y. Okay, 7 plus 9, that is 16, and this side what I get is 2 into 1 plus 3, that is 2 plus 3, that is 5. So I have this whole thing as 16 is to 5, right? So instead of doing componendo and dividendo and doing a huge lot of calculation and like getting confused, I'll just simply trick the question itself to come to a easy conclusion that 16 is to 5. Okay, let's see what the question is saying. In a mixture 60 liters, the ratio of milk and water is 2 is to 1. Okay, next, if the ratio is to be 1 is to 2, then the quantity of water will be further added. Achha. So what is there? Initially we had 60 liters of milk plus water, correct? And this milk and water were in the ratio 2 is to 1. And then the milk person who provides me milk added some water. He did cheating. He added some water. Okay. And he made the ratio 1 is to 2. Okay. Okay. So now you have to help me out. Okay. How much less money I'll pay him. Okay. For that, I need to find out how much water he added. Okay. So for this, let me find out. Okay, if initially there was 60 liter and 2:1 ratio for milk and water. So I can calculate the amount of milk and amount of water in that initial 60 liter. I say how? I'll say okay. So let me consider that 2x liter of milk was there and x liter of water was there. If I add these two, this must be 60. I get 3x is equal to 60 and x is equal to 20. That means I have 2 into 20, that is 40 liter of milk and 1 into 20, that is 20 liters of water in my initial 60 liters. Now comes the fun part. Now they're saying the ratio of milk to water became 1 is to 2 after he added this water. I'm like, okay, very good. So my milk initially was 40 and my water was 20 liter. I found out here. And then this fellow added some amount of water, which I don't know. This is what I have to find out. This resulted in the ratio changing to 1 by 2. Correct. From 2 by 1, it became 1 by 2. Why? Because water was added. So now you'll say, sir, why did not you add A up? Right? Because 40 is milk and 20 is the water. So I'll add water only. Na? He added water. If he had added milk, then why would I say that? No, I'll be happy. Give me more milk. But no, he gave me more water. So I added it in the water. Now I'll solve it. Okay. I'll do what? 20 plus A is equal to 80. 40 gives me 80. Now I'll remove this here. So A is equal to 60. That means we added 60 liters of water when I was not looking.
Time for the funny picture of the day.